The fluoride in our water is actually a poison. It's a toxic chemical that's been added to our water since 1964. And I know that sounds crazy to think that our government would put poison into our drinking water. But you have to remember that during that time, scientists were coming out with things that asbestos, tobacco, thalidomide and leaded petrol were safe. So this is just part of that era. That's what most people believe, that fluoride is in our water to prevent dental decay. But that was what we were told when it was first introduced to the water. But that has since been disproven by a number of studies worldwide showing that it doesn't actually prevent tooth decay. And yet Ireland have been, adding this to our drinking water since the 60s, and there have never been one human safety test conducted, even though that was a requirement under the Act it was brought out under. So this has been added to our water, and there has been no studies to show any of the impact that it's having on our health. I mean, there's states in America that are stopping water fluoridation all the time, and they're pushing for more. There's a massive movement to have this stopped. And in Canada now, almost 65% of Canada have it stopped, so they're pushing to have it all removed. And in Europe, there's only 2% that are fluoridating, we are the 2%. The rest of Europe have either banned or stopped water fluoridation. Holland actually, in their constitution, banned it in 1976. But here in Ireland, we are the most fluoridated country in the world with this policy of mandatory water fluoridation. So we have no choice in this matter. There's a huge amount of health problems linked to fluoride. For example, it's been linked to cancer, it's been linked to neurological disease, thyroid dysfunction, kidney toxicity, lowered IQ, osteoporosis. This is something that is truly horrific, and people just aren't even aware that what problems they do have, maybe a contributing factor is the water they're consuming. There's massive evidence now coming up worldwide showing that fluoride is damaging. There's the National Research Council from America, which came out in 2006, showing that fluoride may promote cancer, which is a contributing factor. There's also a study from Harvard which came out this summer, and that's showing that fluoride is a neurotoxin, and that it was shown to lower IQ in children. And then here in Ireland, there's a highly respected environmental scientist who has brought together all international evidence into the one report. He's compiled a 300-page report, and showing categorically the harm to human health that fluoride, it's causing. And that has been submitted to the government this year, and they're actually disregarding his report, even though he sent it over to Canada, and 4 cities this year stopped water fluoridation using his report as evidence. So that alone will show you that his report, it was completely truthful and accurate, but the Irish government here are failing to recognise it. So if fluoride didn't cause any harm to human health, why would 98% of Europe stop adding it to the water? It makes no sense. Why would they? And why would a country ban it in its constitution? And also, Ireland has the worst teeth in Europe, even though we're the only country in Europe with this policy of mandatory water fluoridation. So it doesn't add up. A recent publication from the World Health Organization showed that Ireland has the worst dental health in Europe. So we have the highest level of dental decay in Ireland over all these countries that do not add fluoride to their water. So it doesn't make any sense. We actually have twice the global average of neurological disease. We have the highest rates of cancers, we have the highest rates of osteoporosis, of epilepsy, and of hypothyroidism. And we actually have the highest use of pharmaceutical antidepressant medication. And there's a huge link between thyroid dysfunction and depression. So all of these things have all been linked to fluoride. I actually don't know why we're still adding fluoride to the water. To me, it's an insane practice, and it should be abolished immediately. But it seems to be, ignored by the Irish government, by all the regulatory bodies, the Irish Medical Board, the HSE, Department of Health. There doesn't seem to be anything. No movement to have this stopped. In fact, they maintain that they will keep on this policy to improve dental health. The Irish government even paid for the Professor of Chemistry, Paul Connett, from New York, to come over to present to them, and he presented 50 reasons, all scientifically backed up, why they should stop water fluoridation, why it doesn't make any sense to do this. And they just ignored him completely. Silence. So there's been lots of people that have been pushing to get this out in the last decade, and it's just a wall of silence, and the public don't know about this. So that's why my mission is to inform the public and to raise sufficient awareness that there is public outcry to have this stopped. Well, all the people that have been involved in the cover-up of this, from the word go, they have to be held accountable, because what they're doing is criminal. It's absolutely, they're damaging the health of every person in this country, and they have to be named and shamed and held accountable. Their heads have to be on the line here. For years and years, people have known about this, and they've pushed, to get this information to all the relevant bodies in the government and departments. And for years, it's been ignored. And we have a track record of tribunals and investigations into various corruptions and crimes that are committed by people in power. I hope that there's the same with fluoride, that whoever is implicated in keeping this quiet and having, the public misinformed and misled, that they will be held accountable, they will be taken to task, that they will be prosecuted, they will be jailed, whatever is deemed fit for them. But that's my aim, because it's a crime against humanity. I'd just like to say that it's a real shame that I've had to go to such lengths as to have to create this alter ego, the Girl Against Fluoride. And I've had to go all over the country to, perform in different publicity stunts just to get people's attention about such a serious issue that should just be taken up on its merit alone. But what I'd like people to do now is to fully support the campaign. Please like our Facebook page and follow our Twitter account and sign up to our YouTube channel. And I really need your full support, because I cannot do this alone. I need the public to back me.